So let's get into this first. So Smallville has 20,000 people. Well, let me back up. Your EOC is a week from tomorrow. Your EOC is a week from tomorrow. Okay? You have, today we have exponential regression. Tomorrow we have geometric sequences. Those are the last two parts of Unit 10 that we're going to deal with. Then it's 3 days of readiness. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The expectation is still 100% commended. The expectation is still 100% commended. That is only going to happen, guys, if you decide it's important. And I mean that sincerely. Because the only time that you can get better at something is when you decide it's worth working for. I don't care if it's an athletic endeavor, an artistic endeavor, or an academic endeavor. Whether it's a class grade, whether it's getting good at soccer or football, or getting good at dance or theater or music, the only way you get better is through hard work. It doesn't just magically happen. Well, it does, but it's very, very rare. Most people who are successful because they work at it. Luke? No, it's not always called talent. Because I will tell you that there are those who are not as naturally gifted as others who can outplay naturally gifted people all day long, and they do it because they work harder.
I know, but it's the people who wake up and are called talent.
Yes, it is, but it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is this. You have 3 days to get ready plus the weekend. By the way, the EOC readiness folder is already on the website. It's already there. Has every piece of review material we're going to use on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm not hiding any of it from you. I'm not saying, okay, I'm going to give you a little bit here and a little bit there. The entire folder is online with answer keys. If you know that you struggled in a particular unit, then I'd start working at it tonight. You have no homework this week in math. None. So there's no reason for you that you can't get started early, except laziness. Get yourselves ready so you can say you're the first ones to ever do 100% commended. I think that would be a very outstanding accomplishment. My last year's group was 94%. And I'll be honest with you, last year when we went into the test, I was afraid they weren't even going to be 100% passing. Because there were some kids who struggled all year long with like averages in the high 50s and low 60s all year long. But I got a text from Brandon Frazier and Connor Horn at like 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night the weekend before the test because they were studying. That's what they were doing on a Saturday night, 11 o'clock, kitchen table at one of their houses, working. Had a question on one of the problems. Connor struggled, man, all year long. But they ended up getting 94% committed as a group. And they did it because they decided it was important. I want you to decide the same thing. I cannot make you study. Your parents cannot make you study. None of that stuff happens. You just need to decide or you don't decide. Okay? And that's how we're going to get ready for the test a week from tomorrow. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, cool. So let's talk really quickly about this. It says Smallville has 20,000 people and is losing 800 people each year. Littleton has 20,000 people and its population is decreasing 8% each year. Smallville is losing 800 people each year. What kind of a relationship is that, Hayden? It is a linear relationship. It is not exponential. If you type that into an exponential, you are wrong because exponential deals with percent growth or percent decay. There's nothing about percent. It's decreasing the same amount each year, and that's the very definition of a line. It is losing 800 people each year. It starts here. Which one is our slope? 8. Not just 800, it's losing 800. The slope is negative 800. The starting point, the y-intercept is 20,000. Your equation is y equals negative 800x plus 20,000. That's your linear equation. It's losing 800. By the way, answer choice A on the test is y equals 800x plus 20,000. Because you're not paying attention to the verb losing. You don't associate that with a negative number. Slow on the test and read carefully. Now, Littleton is losing 8% each year. What do we know that is? That is exponential. And if you think about an exponential equation, it's y equals a times 1 plus or minus the rate to the x power. So we write that as y equals 20,000 times 1 minus 0.08 to the x power. That's your equation. An equation requires an x and a y. I'm also going to write the linear slope-intercept form as well. Okay? Any questions on how I got those equations and how I determined one was linear and one was exponential? Cool. Use the above equations to find out how many fewer people live in Littleton than Smallville after 1 year. So what are they giving us, the x or the y? They're giving us the x. X is 1, so we simply plug in negative 800 times 1 plus 20,000, and that equals 19,200. That's how many people are in Smallville. For Littleton, I type in 20,000 times 1 minus 0.08 to the first power. Hold. Calculator. I do not know this. 20,000 parentheses 0.92, 18,400. So the difference is 800 people. That's the difference between one and the other. Any questions on that? Now they want us to find how many fewer people live in Littleton than Smallville after 10 years. So the only thing that changes is the x value. So I just changed the x in each one, so I ended up with negative 800 times 10 plus 20,000. And that is negative 800 parentheses 10 plus 20, 12,000. Got 12,000 in Smallville, and in Littleton, it's 20,000 times 1 minus 0.08 to the 10th power. Type that in. And I got 8,687 people. Now, some people will round that up. That's fine. Here's what I will tell you. You notice that we should have rounded this up, right? But some people say, well, you should never round people up because you either have a whole person or you don't. You will never get an answer choice that requires you to decide whether you round a whole person up or not. They won't do that kind of garbage to you. Okay? The answer choice in the multiple choice test will be very obvious. Now we just find out the difference between the two, and we get 3,313 people using my numbers. If you round it up, you should get 3,312 people. Any questions there? Do buddy? Everybody good? No questions at all? Are you sure? Okay. Hold. Okay, so here's what I want you to watch. Hold. Let me wait. Let me pause this.